This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, see here. First one is the physical layer. See, what is the task of the physical layer? We know that whatever the data is there, that particular data we are going to get from the uppermost layer. That means from the data link layer, we are going to get our data packets. So all that data will be converted in the form of a bit stream. In the form of a bit stream. That is the task done by the physical layer. Okay, and not only that one, and again it will always deals with all the physical devices also. So physical devices means I told you already that what is the type of medium that which we are going to use. Okay, what are the specifications of that medium, what are the electrical specifications, what are the mechanical specifications, what is the type of frequency ranges they are going to use, how much ohms they are going to use for each and every cable, what is the type of resistor. So all these things we will consider here in this physical layer. Okay, and what are the procedures and functions that which we need to follow while transmitting your data. Okay, so that also we will see in the physical layer. See here, it will coordinates all the functions that are required to carry over a bit stream. Okay, so that is the main task of the physical layer. So whatever the data we are going to get from the uppermost layer, that is the data link layer, it will be converted in the form of bits. See here, if you see this diagram, you will get the clarity. So what is this downward arrow means? We are going to take the data from the data link layer. So that particular data we are going to send to the physical layer. So what is there in the physical layer? Your data we have converted in the form of zeros and ones, right? Again, these particular zeros and ones I am trying to send by using some physical medium or by using some transmission medium. So what is the transmission medium? Again, it can be any of the cables, or it can be satellite links, or it can be Wi-Fi routers, or any of the devices we can treat it here. So by using that particular transmission medium, I may send to the receiver side. I may send to the receiver side, and again these particular data bits will be transmitted from physical layer to the back data link layer. Back data link layer. Okay. So this is the responsibilities of the physical layer. Next, we will see other responsibilities also. So what are the other responsibilities of the physical layer means? So first one is the physical characteristics of interfaces and medium. What is that physical characteristics of interfaces and medium? So your physical devices, I told you already that suppose if you are going to use any of the twisted pair or any coaxial cable or optical fibers, we will see that particular specifications of each and every cables or devices. What are the characteristics? Where we can use it? What is the uh, broadcasting range? That means up to how many meters it will work, and what is the frequency range? All that characteristics we will see here in transmitting our data, and it will also defines the type of transmission medium we are going to use. What is the type of transmission medium we are going to use, and what are those particular characteristics? Everything we will define it in the physical layer itself. Next one is the representation of the bits. So already we have seen how the data will be represented in the this one, that is the physical layer. How the data can be represented here? So we are going to represent in the form of zeros and ones. We are going to represent in the form of zeros and ones. So again, these particular zeros and ones, if we are transmitting through the cables or wires, that can be converted in the form of electrical signals or digital signals. Electrical signals or digital signals. So that is the concept of representation of the bits. And next one is data rate. What is the next responsibility? That is the data rate. So this is very, very important. What is the data rate means? Data rate or transmission rate, both are same. Okay, data rate or transmission rate, both are same. So what is that transmission rate means? How many number of bits that which we are trying to send for each and every second is called as transmission rate. Okay, so every day we are trying to calculate that gbps, mbps, okay, each and everything, right? So that itself is nothing but the transmission rate. That itself is the transmission rate. So again, this physical layer, it will also tells us what is the particular duration of your bit. That means how long it is going to arrive, how long it will going to be live in your physical medium and all. So that itself will be defined by the data rate. How much amount of data we are trying to transmit from the sender to the receiver is nothing but the data rate. Next one is the synchronization of the bits. Synchronization of the bits. So what is that synchronization of the bits means? Whenever you are trying to send any data from the sender to the receiver, synchronization is must. Why? Because sender should have connectivity and as well as the receiver also should have the connectivity. So without having connectivity on either of the side, we can't transmit our data. Both the sides it should be connected, then only we can transmit our data. So that is why synchronization of the bits must be there. Suppose even if you take any WhatsApp or sending any email and all or any other applications, both the sides we should have the synchronization between the senders and the receiver. So here in our terminology, we are going to say that the sender and the receiver clocks must be synchronized here. Then only we were able to transmit our data. Okay, that is the synchronization of the bits. And the next one is the line configuration. Line configuration. What is that line configuration? Line configuration means, see here, the physical layer it is concerned with the connection of devices to the media. Connection of devices to the media. Line configuration, that means to a particular communication channel, how many devices are connected. That is called as line configuration. Okay. So already we have discussed about point to point configuration and as well as multi-point connection, right? So what is meant by point to point connection? Point to point connection means only two devices will be there with only one single communication channel. Okay, two devices will be there with only one single communication channel. Then what about the multi-point configuration here? Multi-point configuration means only one link will be there here, but multiple devices will be sharing that particular one single communication link. Okay, this is called as line configuration. So it will tells us how many devices are interconnected to that particular single transmission medium. That is called as line configuration. And next one is physical topology. Okay, what is that one? Next one is physical topology. So what is that physical topology again? Physical topology, it will tells us how the devices are connected to make a network. Physical topology, it will defines how the devices are connected to make a network. So I told you already that how many types of topologies are there? How many types of topologies are there? 4 different types of topologies are there. What are those? Mesh topology, star topology, bus topology, and as well as ring topology. So here, what type of topology I am going to use for connecting my devices? That is also important in this physical topology. Okay, na? See here, here they have given as devices. It can be connected by using the mesh topology or by using star topology or by using ring topology or by using the hybrid topology or bus topology. Anything we may use for interconnecting our devices. Okay. Next one is the transmission mode. This is also very important. What is meant by transmission mode? So in the beginning of the classes itself, I told you what is meant by transmission mode. What is meant by transmission mode and how many types are there? 3 different types of transmission modes are there. That means we can use any of these modes for the transmission of data. Okay, first one is simplex mode. Second one is half duplex mode and third one is full duplex mode. Okay, these are the 3 different ways of communication. Okay, what is meant by simplex mode? So what is meant by simplex mode means here in this particular simplex mode only uniflow of direction will be there. Uniflow of direction will be there. So what is that uniflow of direction here? That means only one side our data will be transmitted. From the second side From the second side also we can transmit, both only one way will be there. Okay, whether it is from the sender side or whether it is from the receiver side, only uniflow of direction will be there. The data, it will flows only in one single direction. That is called as simplex mode. Then what about the half duplex mode here? Half duplex mode of transmission means here two ways we can transmit the data. That means suppose the sender may transmit and after some time the receiver also may give the reply. Okay, that is called as half duplex. But both the activities they can't do it simultaneously at the same time. That is called as half duplex mode of communication. Okay, but if the same thing, that means the sending or the receiving of the data, if it can be done at the same time, simultaneously at the same time, is called as full duplex mode of communication. Okay na, full duplex mode of communication. So what are the different modes that which we are going to use in transmitting our bits is represented as transmission modes. Okay na? So here again they have explained about those three different modes of transmission. So this is the thing about the physical layer. Okay na? So physical layer, it will also deals with physical characteristics of interfaces and medium. And next one is the representation of the bits. And the next one is next one is the data rate, synchronization of the bits, line configuration, physical topology, and transmission mode. So all these things will be, that means these are the responsibilities and tasks that will be performed only by the physical layer. Okay, so we need to consider all these things in the physical layer. Next one is the next layer. What is the next layer after the physical layer? That is data link layer. Right, shall we go for data link layer now? Yes, we will see what is the tasks that will be done by the data link layer. Data link layer is having very important tasks and responsibilities will be there where the other layers will not. Okay, so what is the main thing of the data link layer means? You will see. See here, what is the data, from where we are going to get the data from the data link layer? For the data link layer, what is the uppermost layer here? Uppermost layer is the network layer, right? So from the network layer, I am going to get my data to this data link layer. Okay, so here, if you observe this particular data, this is called as frames in the data link layer. We are going to give some special name of your packets in the data link layer. What is that special name? How can we call your data packets here? What is the terminology we are going to use? It means that is called as frames. Our data packets are called as frames in the data link layer. Okay, you remember this point. And your frames, each and every frame, again I am having my header will be there. H2 stands for header, and this is your actual data, and the next one is the trailer will be there. That means your data I am going to encapsulate in this particular frame. So this I am going to send to my next most lowermost layer, that is called as physical layer. That is called as physical layer. Okay na? Next, this is the thing that will be done at the sender side. Okay, next you come to the receiver side. What happens at the receiver side? Again, from the physical layer, it will be converting all that bits, and that particular bits again it will be sent to the receiver side. Okay, so this particular data again it will be having the H2 will be there, data will be there. So you remember one more point, that is whatever the data that which we are going to get in the physical layer, it will be in the form of zeros and ones. Again, that particular zeros and ones I am going to convert to the frames in the data link layer. Okay, I am going to convert into the frames in the data link layer. That is the reason again my zeros and ones I have been converted to the H2 and T2 along with my data. So this particular frame I will be sending back to the network layer. Okay, whatever the frame that which is there in the receiver side, that I am going to send to the network layer. So this is the thing which will be done in the data link layer. Okay, this is the picture overall view. Next, you come to the roles and the responsibilities. What are the roles and the responsibilities of your data link layer? We'll see what are those roles and responsibilities and all. Okay. Next one, in that particular roles and responsibilities, first one is the framing. First one is framing. What is that framing here? I told you already that your data packets are called as frames in the data link layer, right? So your data link layer, it is dividing the stream of bits. It is dividing the stream of bits received from the network layer. Okay, from where we are going to get our data here? From the network layer I am going to get my data. So that particular data I am trying to convert into some small pieces of packets. Those are called as frames. Those are called as frames. So that is the definition they have given it here. Okay, that is a stream of bits received from the network layer into some manageable data units called as frames. I am trying to divide it into some smaller units again. Those particular data, smaller data packets are called as frames. Okay, and that is about the framing concept. Next one is come to the physical addressing. Physical addressing. What is that physical addressing here? So here two things will be there. Main thing, that is the physical addressing and as well as logical addressing. Two concepts will be there here. What is this physical addressing? Okay. Okay. See here, that means if you want to send any frames here, okay, if you want to send any frames to the different systems which are on the network, so what we will be doing generally in that particular data link layer, automatically it will add the header and the trailer to that particular data, and it will be sending to the intended recipients. Okay, so if that particular recipient is on the same network means okay, but suppose he is from the outside of the sender's network means, so the receiver address is the address of the device which will connect the network to the next one. Okay, so you leave all this one, but I will say you in simple that physical addressing means it will find out the MAC address of your devices, MAC addresses of your receiver devices. Okay, na? That is called as physical addressing. I told you already that whenever you are purchasing any of the computers or any laptops, if you observe, individual and unique MAC address will be there on your devices. Okay, your system, whenever you are transmitting any data, it will find out that particular address in the hexadecimal format. Your address will be there. That particular address it will find out and it will send to that intended receiving device. That is the actual concept which will be done in the physical addressing. That is called as physical address. You remember in simple that physical address is nothing but MAC address. That is the medium access control address. Okay, you have to remember all these full forms and all. MAC address, that is the medium access control address. Okay na? Or any doubts? Next one, shall we go for the flow control? Flow control. So what is meant by flow control means, see here, if the data at which the rate at which the data are absorbed by the receiver is less than the rate at which the data are produced in by the sender, okay na, that is called as the flow control. So I will say you one example. Okay, you are having very less speed internet connectivity. Okay, I am the very fast sender. I will be sending more and more data packets to you, but the only thing is you don't have that much capacity to receive that many data packets. You know, so in such case what I can do, I have to control the sender in sending the data packets, or otherwise I have to intimate to the sender not to send any more data packets. Okay na? So that is called as flow control. That is called as flow control. That means if the rate of the sender is very fast and if the receiver is unable to receive that many amount of data that is sent by the sender, that is called as flow control. Okay, na? That is called as flow control. That will be done by the data link layer. Flow control also will be done by the data link layer. Okay, na? Next one, come to the error control. What is this error control here? What is this error control? Error control is very, very important. This is the task done by only the data link layer. This is the task done only by the data link layer. So what is that particular task here? Error control. So how the errors will be detected and how it will recorrect the frames and all, and how it will retransmit the correct frames from the sender to the receiver, all the tasks that will be managed by the error control, okay, only by the data link layer. See here, in this error control, it will detect any, suppose if I am sending any frames, okay, there may be a chance that due to the network connectivity, due to any hardware problems or any software problems, uh, or because of any of the problem, your data or your bits, sometimes it can be sent wrongly. It may be sent wrongly. Okay. So that particular wrong data, it can be detected and it will be corrected by this error control in the data link layer. Okay. It will also check whether your sent data is, whether your received data is exactly matching with the sent data or not. Suppose if that is not matching, okay, suppose if that is not matching means again I may redirect to the sender, or else again I will inform the sender to retransmit the same frames again. Okay. So that particular type of error control can be done in this data link layer. Can be done in this data link layer. Okay. So generally that is the reason we will be adding this trailers at the end of your frame. So what will be there in that particular trailers means CRC. CRC named one field will be there. So in with the help of that particular CRC checksum, CRC is nothing but checksum. So with the help of that particular checksum, I can detect any of the wrong frames or damaged frames. Okay, or if any data is wrong means that also I can detect and I can transmit the frames, inform to the sender back. So that type of error, if any errors are there, that will be detected by this data link layer. This is the very most important task that will be done by the uh, data link layer. And next one is the access control. What is that access control here? See here, if when two or more devices are connected to the same link, data link layer protocols are necessary to determine which device has the control over the link at any given time. That means, suppose if 10 systems or 100 systems, I think that 100 systems are connected to your network. Okay. Whether 100 systems are having the equal rights and equal privileges? Definitely no. So among those 100 devices, one master node will be acting as the one master node will be there where we will give all the rights of controlling all these devices in a network. That means if any data is there sending or receiving the data, I may transfer only through that particular node. Okay, or if any wrong things are happening, I have to intimate to the other neighboring nodes in a network also. Okay, such type of access control will be done in this data link layer, will be done in this data link layer, right? So these are the responsibilities of data link layer. First one is framing. Framing is nothing but dividing your packets where we are going to get from the network layer into smaller units which are called as frames. And physical addressing means nothing but I am trying to find out if any of the I am trying to find out the individual unique MAC address of your system to transmit my data. That is called as physical addressing. Okay, and next one is flow control. So what is that flow control? I am trying to control the sender flow where the receiver is unable to receive that much amount of data. Okay, that is called as flow control. So error control means detecting the errors in your sent frames, identifying if any damaged frames are there, or if any lost frames are there, or if any corrupted frames are there. All that frames has to be identified and intimated to the sender back. So that responsibility also will be done by the error control. Next one is access control. So access control, I told you already that if two or more devices are connected to the network means we have to find out to which device we are going to give the overall control. That is called as access control. Okay. And if you see this particular diagram, that is called node to node delivery, node to node delivery. Okay. See here. A is the device here. A is the Is it visible now? Next, see here. This is the think that this is the sender device, and these are at the end systems. That means D is there and F is there. D is there and F is there. I have to transmit my data here. Okay, and this is the actual link from A to B. Actual link from A to B. Okay. In B, intermediate B again, intermediate nodes are available here. Okay, if you want to send from data A to the data D, how many links are there? Your data, it has to pass through all the links, then only it will be reached to the node D. Okay. In the same way, suppose if you want to send any data to F means again your data, it has to cross through the B node and again E node. So after crossing all these B, E links, then only your data will be sent to the receiver node, that is the link F. Okay, that is the destination node F. Next, what is meant by hop? Okay, that we need first. What is meant by hop? So what is meant by hop means that is nothing but suppose if you want to transmit any data from one node to the next succeeding node, okay, that distance is called as one hop. Okay, that distance is called as one hop. So that is called as hop to hop delivery. That is called as hop to hop delivery. Okay, see here I have sent my data from A to B. So A to B only one link will be there, so it will take only one hop. Okay, in the same way again from B to E, again also one more hop. Okay, and E to F also one more hop. So totally how many hops it is going to take to transmit your data from A to F? Totally 3 hops will be taken. So that is the metric which we will use to calculate how the data will be sent from the sender to the receiver. Suppose if anybody is asking how many hops it is going to take means, we will calculate it like this: 1 hop, 2 hops and 3 hops. So totally if you want to transmit your data from A to F means 3 hops it will be taking. In the same way, if you want to transmit from A to D means from A to intermediate node B, again from B to C, again from C to D. So totally again 3 links are there. That means 3 hops it will take to transmit your data. Okay, so that is called as hop to hop delivery. That is called as hop to hop delivery. Okay, here they gave the diagram clearly. See here, that is from A to, that means from the data link layer, your data will be transmitted to the physical layer. Okay, and again from this A node to the B node, A node to the B nodes, physical layer to data link layer again. Okay, na? This is the sending side and this is the receiving side. Okay, so this particular thing is called as one hop. Sending the data from A node to the B node is called as one hop. And again from here, your data will be sent to the next node. What is the next node here? E node. So to this particular E node, I am trying to send my data. Okay, this is the sending side. Again, if you go for the receiving side again, what is happening here? From the E node to F node, I am trying to send. So totally 1 hop, 2 hops and 3 hops it is going to take to transmit my data from A to F. A to F. Okay, na? So this is the thing which is happening in the data link layer. Next concept is network layer. Next one is network layer. So network layer is very important here. Okay na? So network layer, it is responsible for the source to destination delivery of your packet. Okay, source to destination, how the packets will be transmitted using the multiple links and multiple networks in that particular network. So that will be done by this network layer. Okay, so whereas if you take the data link layer, the delivery of the packet will be done between the two systems on the same network. Okay, but in the network layer, it's not like that. Each and every packet it will gets from the origin. Origin means starting place. Okay, from the starting place to the final destination, how your packet will be transmitted. Okay, and what are the types of IP protocols we are going to use, and what are the different types of routing protocols we are going to use, and how the data packets can be routed. All these things will be taken care by this network layer. Okay, how the source to destination packet delivery can be done means here, see here. So what is the uppermost layer of the network layer? Again, transport layer is the uppermost layer of the data link layer. Okay, transport layer is the uppermost layer of the data link layer. So from the transport layer I am going to get my data. Okay, whenever your data is transmitted to the network layer, in the network layer your data is called as packets. In the network layer your data is called as packets. In the network layer your data is called as packets. So this packet, how the packet is, so each and every packet it is having the h3. H3 means header. Okay, and again data will be there. So this particular packet I am trying to send from the network layer to the next lowermost layer, that is the data link layer. Next lowermost layer, that is called as data link layer. Yes, next come to the receiving side. So here again from the data link layer I am trying to send my packet. I am trying to send my frames. How the data will be there in the data link layer in the form of frames. So that frames I am trying to send to the network layer, and from the network layer I will be transmitting to the uppermost layer, that is the transport layer. Okay na? Individual packets, the delivery of the individual packets from the source host to the destination host will be done by the network layer. Okay, so other responsibilities are there. What are those other responsibilities means, first one is logical addressing. Okay, first one is logical addressing. First one is logical addressing, and the next one is routing. Okay, next one is routing. Only two responsibilities are there for this network layer. We will complete these two also. Okay, first one is logical addressing. So in short, you remember that logical address is nothing but IP address. Okay, logical address means nothing but IP address. So how the IP addresses will be written? How the IP addresses will be written? I think everybody knows that your IP addresses will be written like 123.255.60.1, like that you will be writing, right? So that particular IP address is nothing but logical addressing. Okay, that means from the sender side, whatever the request I am trying to send, it will catch that particular IP address, and again at the receiver side also it will checks what is the type of the IP address. Okay, here sending the data packets from the source node IP address to the receiver node IP address will be done. That is called as logical addressing. Okay, ra? In that particular logical addressing, we will be checking what is the destination node IP address and what is the source node IP addresses. We will try to distinguish the things like that. But whereas in the data link layer or in the physical layer, we will not check the things like that. Physical addressing, we will check the individual systems MAC addresses. Okay, individual systems MAC addresses. Remember very clearly. Physical addressing means nothing but finding out the MAC addresses of individual devices. Okay, now logical addressing means nothing but finding the IP addresses of the individual systems. Okay, now that is called as logical addressing. Next one is the routing. What is meant by routing means here? What is meant by routing means? See here, if in a particular network, n number of links will be there and n number of networks will be there. If you want to create any large network, how you will get your large network here? In that particular large network, definitely from the source node to the destination node, n number of intermediate nodes will be there where we can interconnect our devices and all. Okay, na? So I can interconnect my devices. How I can interconnect my devices? Using some D-Link switches or using some hubs, okay, or using some routers and all. Okay, using any of the bridges, all the devices I may use for routing my data packets. Okay, na? So we can use any of these physical devices for interconnecting the devices or for sending my data. That is called as routing. That is called as routing. One of the important responsibilities of the network layer is routing. Okay. So here, normally we will be using all the routers and all. These are the devices where they will take the decision in sending or receiving the data. That means to which next succeeding node we have to route the packets and all. Okay, all the decisions will be taken by the router. Each and every router again we need to configure, and we need to configure the router, and as well as we can know to which router all our devices are connected. Okay, how many systems are connected to that particular router, what is the starting node, what is the ending node. Suppose from any node I am going to get my packet, means to which next node I have to send my data. Okay, so we will calculate the distance also, in which distance if our packet is traveling, how much cost it is going to take, whether it is less cost or whether it is the high cost. Okay, so that is called as routing. So routing is the important responsibilities of your this one, that is okay, these are the responsibilities of network layer and all. Okay, see this particular diagram, how your diagram is. See, if anyone is viewing from your laptop, please can you send me the one single screenshot, okay, which where all the roll numbers should be visible and the total count. Okay, if anyone is attending the session from the laptop, you will get it. All the numbers will be displayed on the main screen. Okay. No one is responding. What happened, ma?